Captain Sam and the Secret Avengers are here. Is this a team that you should be going hard for, or should you be skipping this team? We also have changes to ISO 8. We have some new Origin challenges, but where are the changes to the Blitz Store that was teased last week? And where is the chase in Marvel Strike Force? I've not really had anything to chase in Dark Dimension 4, so is Dark Dimension 5 something that's necessary in Marvel Strike Force right now? We're talking about all of this and more on your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. I am joined by my brother, Tony Scungili. So if you're ready for it, Tony, tell him what to do, my friend.
Sorry, I was playing Future Rev.
ValleyFlyin.
I literally was.
Hello. What is up? Well, how are you, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update, and I may or may not have a host. He may or may not even joining us. I guess he's playing Future Rev. But this week I'm joined by my brother Tony Scungili. If this is your first time here, obviously subscribe, hit that, smash that like button, all that stuff. But Tony, how are you, my friend? Can we bring you away from Future Rev for a little bit to talk about some Marvel Strike Force?
Yeah,
I know that's a fun game.
I just hit auto. It's fine.
Okay, cool. So how have you been? It has been a while.
Good, man.
We've had an update drop since the last time we talked. Yeah. How are you enjoying this update? Is this better for you? Update 5.5 better for you than 5.4?
Oh, this is air. This update's air. There's nothing.
Air?
There's nothing to it.
Air is good, right? Air being good.
No, nothing but like airball. No substance.
Oh, just
again.
I don't mind that though. I don't know if I mind that. I don't mind that.
I have no problem with it because the things that are very small that do matter in this update are awesome. I like the increase in the ISO. We'll talk about more, but I like the increase in the ISO and the ions. I like the new catalysts. The new characters I like, but not for the reason I think a lot of other people will. I like them because I don't have to care about them. Because what they offer,
I like them for that as well.
Yeah, but so here's my thing, right? Like I don't need them for any of the Doom Raid stuff I'm doing because I'm already doing great in Doom Raid. So for people who aren't, like that's great. Characters for them. My fear is that because I'm already doing fine in Doom Raid and I'm not gonna spend money, not farm like the characters that are whatever.
I think I know where
they're
you're
gonna be
going
used
with
for a legendary unlock, and I'm gonna be you got me again.
So we will talk about it. We'll talk about that. That is a lot of the community sphere right now. Nobody needs them. They're going to be the next legendary. We're going to discuss that. But before we get into that, I do want to discuss this stream last night, and we're covering a lot of this stuff. But this was from Marvel.com, or the official Marvel stream, and we see our boy Cerebro on there. Let me see if we can get a better shot of him on there. There he is. And just so you watched this, you had a reaction to this. I did not see this. I heard about this from chat yesterday. Any interesting things here? Any tidbits of information that we should be aware of on this from this stream that happened last night?
So largely useless, as is most things that come from Scopely. Like largely irrelevant, but there was one tiny little thing, and that's Cloak and Dagger.
Was it?
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger.
Generally speaking,
was that mentioned?
Nick has the very Cerebro, has the very unsubtle way of putting comic books in the background that are relevant to characters that are upcoming. He does it quite frequently.
Okay.
And currently, if you look, he actually has Cloak and Dagger comic behind him. So if we were to assume that there's a character coming in the future, the first one I would bet on is Cloak and Dagger. Just because this has been happening in the past. He did it with Scream. He did it with Taskmaster. It just happened. But there was nothing of value in
characters that don't come to the game. Like there was a what was the name of Colossus's sister? Magic. I think she was in a cover.
Oh, I think I'm 100% sure Magic's supposed to come to the game.
Magic's supposed to come to the game.
I'm 100% sure that things have been moved. They have a model for her and everything. And it's awesome.
Hold on. Maybe it wasn't Magic. Maybe it was a Saturnine or something. I thought it was Magic, but there's been other characters. We've had MODOK in the background in the last Strike Time episode. Shang-Chi also there. So a lot of different names been thrown out there. But I've been hearing Cloak and Dagger a little bit more. So maybe he just confirmed that for us. I don't know. What do
It's
you
something to
think?
talk
Do you think
about,
that
right?
is coming very soon?
It honestly, like honestly, it's something to talk about. Like I originally don't care about new character reveals unless it's a specific character I like. But now it's like, hey, maybe the character doesn't suck. You know, like
I care.
I'm happy we got Maria Hill.
I
I actually am a huge fan of Maria Hill in the comics because she's ironically kind of like Zemo, but on the good guy side. Like she just doesn't like superheroes. She doesn't, or more importantly,
she's weird.
Yeah, so she's got a really cool character arc. So it's really fun to see a character that has grown over the last like decade in Marvel Comics. Well, more so in comics than in the movies, but like be brought into the game. Like Maria Hill's awesome. You know.
Yeah, I've been wanting her in the game for a while. Disappointed that this is how she's introduced, but happy at least the characters in the game. Another character that just came to the game last night. This guy, Sam Wilson, Captain America, one of my favorite character models in the game. But his character model aside, what do you think of his kit? What do you think of what his use is in Marvel Strike Force? I mean, does he have? We will talk about the Secret Avengers a little bit more. But do you think that he, as a solo standalone character, has any viability in Marvel Strike Force? Should people be building Sam just if they're not planning to do a Secret Avengers team?
Oh, he looks fun.
Maybe
he looks fun. Like I always run into an issue with a character that's tagged for a specific thing. So when you have a character like he's tagged for raids, so
raids, but specifically Doom raids, but not just Doom raids. The 3 skill nodes in the Doom raids,
well,
so 3 nodes.
But he's tagged for raids, right? Like he.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
he's built for raids.
Yes,
same thing. Like
true.
Doc Ock is tagged for war. He's on both sides of the war, but like other characters are tagged for offense or defense, etc. So when a character's tagged for raids, like that, most of the time, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. Like, all right, like the Astonishing X-Men was kind of a what's the word? Exception to the rule.
Raid,
because they were tagged for raids, but they were actually just really good in a lot of other game modes. They were pretty good in Arena and War and RTA. Well, Arena for some people, but RTA specifically. So like
non-Black Order, non-Infinity. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But they had value outside of just their tag. But for him specifically and his team, I don't really see it. I think he's the best character on his team, Secret Avengers. I think he's got the most flash outside of it, but he doesn't upset the arena meta, right? Like the arena meta is staunchly the Infinity Watch with like 3 or 4 other characters floating around, whoever.
If you don't have Adam Warlock.
Or if you just replace a character like I've been replacing Moondragon on offense with Doom and on defense with Kestrel, and I've been seeing reasonable results, but
I've been seeing Doom on defense a lot instead of Moondragon.
No, do not put Doom on defense. Gamora eats him.
I haven't put it on. No, I've been seeing that. I'm like, I wonder how this battle's going to go. I'm just avoiding that.
No, just because Adam Warlock can ability block him, and then Gamora can kill him. Like, there's no, like, you don't do that. Do not put Doom on defense. I'm just seeing that. I just, all right. Okay, it's an easy battle. I'm saving you.
Sam, very good. I do want to talk about his special, though, because this is a little misleading. And it's actually better. It's in the player's favor. So it says that when you upgrade a special with a T4, gain 3 deflex, grant ability energy, 2 to 3 non-summon skill allies and skills here. But I think something's missing. And that is evident on MSF.GG and on their blog post. If we go to the blog post where they had his original kit reveal, it says gaining taunt for 2 turns. And if you look on MSF.GG, when you put the T4 into this move right here, it actually says taunt for 2 turns. So I think he's getting an extra taunt. That makes it a little different. Does that change this move at all for you if he's getting 2 taunts not on spawn, but on when he first goes on this 3-turn cooldown? This is going to be his first move normally. Does that change this move for you and the T4 recommendation on this?
No, because the T4 recommendation is like, get it. Like, you know, like it's already like you should have this.
You would recommend it even if it didn't do the taunt.
Yeah, like it's there's not actual much on that team that's like T4 dependent. Like there's always good T4s, you know, like but that team isn't very T4 dependent. This is just one of the best T4s he has because he grants 2 to 3 energy to like energy is important. Yeah. And if you're only using a small group of characters, Like you are controlling who's it's giving it to all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
So like Kestrel can ult or special and then immediately special again because she's a non-summoned skill ally. You know, so like this ability is just through the roof. And that extra.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and again, it's not that it's like 2 to 3. It's that originally it's 1 or 2. So you actually get a guaranteed 1 extra energy with the possible of 2 extra energy guaranteed, as opposed to 1 to 3. Like I think Luke Cage has a 1 to 3 energy ability, which I'm like, yeah, all right, bro, that's getting T4'd. So yeah, this is already one of his best abilities.
This is a T4 I liked yesterday when I made the original Sam Wilson video. Even before it added that extra taunt. So I like this. So that just makes it a little better. I like his passive as well. His ultimate, it does a lot of damage. I mean, 50% for me is the baseline for a T4. This does 80 and it gives extra speed. So I like. There's actually 3 T4s I like on Sam. Let's talk about his running mate, his other Secret Avenger ally in the game. Yeah, she is in the game. But she has an event coming up in a couple days. Sharon Carter. This normally these events not that difficult. What are your thoughts on this event? How many stars are you expecting to unlock or get for Sharon Carter with throughout the playing of this event?
Generally speaking, events I get between 4 and 5 star, and I don't mean like anywhere between. I mean like I get 4.5 stars. On like,
okay, so right between the 4 and 5.
Yeah, I literally get between, because after I reach 4, I stop using like an excess amount of cores. I just don't really care.
Okay.
And mainly the main reason, just so everyone knows, is like, as we've seen in the past an infinite number of times, characters tend to become farmable with over a week if a character is necessary for a legendary unlock. And now that characters are more accessible because they're putting them in stores and orbs a little bit faster. Well, orbs a little bit faster. If I get 65 of 100 or 60 of 130 shards, that last 60 or 65 shards, that's not going to be hard to get over a 10-day period, like with Polaris or whatever. That's not a difficult task for like me to be able to get. So I just, even if like I'll be able to like get that 5 star, and that's all I care about, getting characters as close to 5 star as possible, because 1, characters are usable at 5 star relatively often, and 2, a character has an unlock or something, I'd rather have them at 5. And most important, if I could spend $0 and get it, I feel like I'm winning. That's my new game. I don't play Marvel Strike Force. I play Don't Give Scopely money if I can avoid it, and it's awesome.
Win the game without giving them money. I like that game. I like that game. And I gotta say, moving down to a casual alliance, I'm having a lot more fun in Marvel Strike Force than I was trying to be hardcore in war. It is so much more fun.
Like, dude, it's insane. We can talk about that at the end, but it's so much fun.
So before we get off to too far of a tangent, I want to ask you, how many cores do you expect to spend on this Conspiracy 3 event? Because I like that rationale, getting them to force or getting them right to that point, so that if they are required for a legendary, they're going to make them farmable, and you could farm the last few shards there. How many are you going to spend? Are you going to do the 50s and the 100s? Just the 50s? What is your plans with this particular character? Not events in general, but with this particular character, Sharon Carter, what are you going to do for your refreshes?
I will always, on every character, do the same thing, which is all of hard. So I don't pay attention to how many cores it costs, because it doesn't matter to me, because if I run out of cores, I just can't do it anymore. But I do all of the hards. So as long as all of the hard nodes are finished, I'm done. And then I do 1, 2, or 3 of the last mediums.
Okay.
So that's how I spend the energy.
So for someone that has spent it looks like you may be doing 1 or 2 of the hundreds if you're getting all the stuff, and then maybe spending more if you're missing some of the
I think like 200 to 300 cores a day is probably accurate.
Okay,
I think that's probably accurate.
Got it. So, yes, let me know in the comments what you guys are planning to do with this event. But I do want to talk to you about this Secret Avengers team. We did talk about their viability. Should you skip this team? Are they required for a legendary? So many issues with this team. So let's talk about their use right now. We talked about this. They're useful in 3 nodes. of a daily raid, the Doom raids. That's what this team was designed for. Obviously, you could use them in other raids. If you're in Ultimus, if you're doing some of the gammas that you could use these characters as a pair in, then
they're all global.
Great. But they're all global as well. Yeah, they're all skills. So you can't use them in teams together in the Greeks. But how necessary do you feel this team is?
That this is one of the first times it depends on the player, you know? Like sometimes teams are like, this team is absolutely amazing. And like symbiotes, right? Like everybody wanted the symbiotes. They're that good. Astonishing X-Men, don't worry, you'll be fine. Like there's no person who can't use the Astonishing X-Men. This is the first time I think they've released a team or raids specifically that are like, hey guys, if you can't get the good characters, you could get these guys now, and that'll help you a little, right? Like by good characters, the previously established important characters, not like that these characters.
Axemen and symbiotes.
Yeah, like you can't farm the Axemen, which actually now you're able to farm more and more of them as time is going on. But like, yeah, like you can't farm them, so like, hey, this team will be okay. They need to round it out, man. Like Mystic and Tech lanes, surprise, surprise. If you don't have Doom, they suck. Are they doable? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Anything's doable. You can hammer in a nail with a brick. Like, but like, don't you want a hammer or a nail gun? Yeah, like, so that's kind of how I look at it. Like Doom makes those nodes like, oh yeah, I just won the node because I have Doom. But they need teams too, and I think they're just rounding out the roster. Like we have the mutant team, we sort of have the bio team. In the symbiotes, they're not fast generally.
So who would you recommend going for this team? If you're saying it depends on the person, you know, obviously the people that are in Doom, they're fine with the Red Guardian. They've already built up skill. They don't really need this team unless there's a legendary consideration for it. But who would you say would need this team? Lower level players? I mean, you say they're built for it's kind of designed for the lower level players, but.
Dude, who wants to work on Night Nurse?
Where are they gonna farm? Where are they gonna farm them? That's the thing. Unless they're planning to make this very early on.
No,
I don't know if this even.
Please understand, this is from a spending perspective, man. Like I'm saying, newer spending. If you're talking about just unlocking this team, like no, throw them in the garbage with She-Hulk. Like you know what I mean? Like throw them with the dumpster fire characters that don't matter. I mean, like if you're a player and you see these characters. That's what I'm not telling people to buy anything. I don't want anyone to buy anything in this game if they can avoid it. I want this company to burn to the ground. But if you're gonna be interested in using the skill team, that's what they're for. They're selling this team to people who need skill, don't have the current pool of skill, which has to be newer characters. And because of that, this team doesn't have a very high tolerance. I mean, we knew that the Infinity Watch was going to be a banger of a arena team, whether it be RTA, Arena, War. Like we knew how good they were. So like, if you got them, you're like, yeah, let's work towards them. They're really good, and they're going to be a problem for a while. This team is like they're a raid team, so the only thing that they could be aside from a raid team is a legendary unlock. You know what I mean? Like it's the only thing they could be that makes them any consequence. So if they're not a legendary unlock, and that's the problem. If they're not a legendary unlock, they are the most skippable team we've seen this year. They're as skippable as like, for lack of a better word, Shadowlands or Heroes for Hire. You know, like
a Skilletary. You could count Skilletary. I guess you need them for the training mat. The training mats, yeah.
But if you worked on Skilletary, this team, like not entirely, but like
you don't need one or the other, right?
Yeah, like. What do you use in skill lane? Kestrel, Red Guardian. I use Night Nurse, Taskmaster, and Zemo. That's my skill. I don't use
Taskmaster. I use Gamora. Same, except Gamora instead of Zemo.
I haven't even tried it. Some people.
I mean, not Zemo. Taskmaster.
People are asking me now, like, hey, should I bring my Night Nurse up? And I'm like, what's your Moondragon? Like, oh, 5/5. Like, no, use Moondragon. You'll be fine. Use Moondragon.
Well, the three healers. You got Night Nurse, Moondragon, and then now you're gonna get Maria Hill. And I've always said the Night Nurse is the best pure healer. Moondragon is healer plus some other things, defense down, and then Maria Hill is like healer plus damage. So depending what you need, those are your three healers for the seal section. Is what I'm telling people because
this is the most FOMO team, right? This is the most FOMO team. It's the only team that like there is actually a line in the sand of people who need this team, people who don't. Whether you want this team, that's up to you. Like, I don't care. I'm buying Cap Sam, you know, like I didn't buy Sharon. I'm buying Cap. I like the character. That's my choice. But like, I don't care for the team because it doesn't make a difference to me. if it helps me in some way, especially as Doom Raid gets harder, great. I'm not going to regret the future. I'm not going to be like, oh man, I wish I bought this character. That's not how I interact. I don't worry about that. Yeah. But like, for most people, like, I guarantee you they feel similar, or most players who are at the end game point, I guarantee most of them feel similar. Anyone in Doom Raids right now is not looking at this team like, wow, this is going to save me time, like, because they're already doing it. You know, they might be looking at it.
It's for people that are trying to get in, don't have a solution for skill.
But that's the problem.
So let me ask you this.
The people who are in Doom Raids right now also tend to be the whales. So if this team isn't going to be purchased by the whales.
Yeah, so I still don't know who this team is for. It's not for the whales. It's not really for the newer players, unless it's a newer player that wants to spend it in Doom. So I'm still very confused about this team. So let me yeah, I don't know. The new whale that's in Doom.
The shiny whale.
I guess. Yeah. I'm still confused. Who needs this team? So let me shift it towards this, because some teams you want them right away. So what makes a new team must have, and what makes a new team skippable, in your opinion?
For me, it's always a very simple either how good are they at what they do, right?
Yeah.
Or how good are they at multiple things? Let's use a Shadowlands as an example.
Yeah.
The Shadowlands is phenomenal at war, like aces at war, right? Yes. And then every other thing I've heard about Shadowlands from everybody else, myself, content creators, people who play it, like, they're useless. Like you can. They
were good in real-time arena for a while.
Sure. Okay, that's fair. I rescind my previous useless statement. They're semi-useless. You know, like, but then I'll see somebody be like, oh man, I have a max investment in White Tiger. And I'm like, dude, I have a max investment in Pyro. Like, you want to compare things that don't matter? You know, like, what is it? Like, my Sabretooth is maxed out. Like, literally can't be higher. I'm sure the character is good, and I'm sure you could take advantage of spending a lot of resources on a character, especially when they're new, because surprise, surprise, newer characters are actually better than older characters. I know, don't tell anybody. It's a secret. Secret. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
But like,
okay. Let's.
But like, White Tiger is not and Moon Knight. They're not like amazing characters, because amazing characters exist in the form of Surfer and Kestrel. So now everything that's the bar, right? We have the bar. You have to be at least this tall to ride. So are you better than are you as good as Kestrel? No. All right, well then you're not a good character. Well, you're really good at war. Okay, then you're a really good at war character. The difference is Kestrel's really good at war and other stuff. So to me, it's like, what does a character have to be? They have to be good, not phenomenal, not game-changing, not meta-breaking, just either really good at the thing they do, like insane, or good enough in multiple game modes. That's including Dark Dimension, for the sake of the conversation, raids, all the raids being separate, Blitz is not a game mode, sorry, like war. Like, if you're good enough in all of those things, I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
But if you're like,
and
for me, the skill team is like, you said it, 3 nodes in Doom Raid, and I'm like, I do work.
That is, yeah. So for me, very similar. I want, for a new team, I want versatility. And Infinity Watch, they're very versatile. Arena offense, defense, war offense, defense. Yeah, I use in the raids. Versatile teams, I'm gonna go hard on. But from the other thing that I'm looking for is does this team solve a problem that I have in the game right now? For me, Shadowlands, they solve the problem of the Marauders. So I got that team. This Secret Avengers team solves 0 problems for me. I'm already fine in the Doom Raids. They solve 0 problems for me. There's no reason for me to do anything with this team at all. So that I'm not going really hard on this team. I'm investing in it to make videos, to test stuff out, to see if it's good for the players. But yeah, this is not a team that I'm really going hard on. But leading back to the Infinity Watch, that was a team that I went hard on, and they're dominant all in. Who is that? Did you just put on your mic?
Arnim Zola.
Okay. Is that kind of a cerebral hint that do you know something that we don't?
No, just being a troll.
All right. Anyway, Infinity Watch. That's a team that I went very, very hard on because they looked to be dominant, and they are. But A lot of people are saying this is exactly like Black Order. Do you prefer the meta that we have in Arena right now with the Infinity Watch, or did you prefer how it was with the Black Order? There's a little bit of you can use that fifth. You could use the Doom. You could use Kesha with this team. You couldn't use another fifth with the Black Order. So do you prefer the Arena meta that we have right now with Infinity Watch, or do you prefer the previous one with the Black Order?
Too early to tell. I knew I wasn't gonna like the Black Order because I don't like forced thought. The meta defines itself. The meta isn't defined. So with the Black Order, the meta was defined, and therefore it was haves versus have-nots. And sure, you could beat them. And as time progressed, every time Maw came around, a whole new group of people got Black Orders, and enough character came out, they were able to be beaten. So when ISOs came out, Doc Ock became a real answer to the Black Order. So it wasn't really that. I think that Arena team dominance is acceptable, or Arena character dominance is acceptable for 9 months, 3/4 of a year.
Yeah.
And what I like about the Infinity Watch team is that it doesn't seem like it's all 5 of these characters or nothing. I have the option of using different characters, and that because of that, right now, I think that the Infinity Watch as a complete team is the best version. I think. I don't know. But at the same time, that doesn't prevent a character from coming out to replace like Moondragon or somebody. Like you could replace like maybe Nebula. And we think like, well, she's so important to the team. Like what if the character comes out and says like cosmic characters assist? Like there's so many different options that could happen.
Yeah.
That like when you had the Black Order, it was like, oh, this is it. Like you can't replace anybody because the team is not the same. You could use Maw and Thanos, but they're not the same. I didn't like that.
I really appreciated what they did with that charge mechanic and making Gamora a little more versatile within Thanos. Because Thanos, if you're locked into that Black Order team with Gamora, eventually, even if you bring in no Infinity Watch members, if you have enough turns, eventually she's going to go empowered and you'll have that character. So you still have some. I think I like that diversity that they offered. So I think I'm in agreement with you. So let's move on to this, the sweepstakes that we got notice of. And there's some people that are going to win some big things. We got, as far as the winners, we got a grand prize winner. We got a second prize winner with 20 people and runners up with 80. So 101 people are going to win very big. Everybody else that enters is going to get some 5 red star orbs. Did you enter this?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
I want them to say, I'll give back the rewards, I promise. I just want them to say, and the grand prize winner is Salad Fingers Adam, which is my name in game right now.
That's your name?
Salad Fingers Adam. I just want him to have to say it.
Scopely, that could save you. How much is this? 20,000 coins. What is that? $2,000? Is that could save you
20,000 power course? It's $4 million.
$4 million if Tony wins, guys. He just wants to see his name. He's a simple man.
No,
That's
I just want you to have to call Adam Salad Fingers.
Okay, all right. So not even
my name.
Just all right. The name, not his name. The name of the. All right. So I like this, and this is a nice sweepstakes. It's going to benefit really everybody that enters, and some people a lot more than others. But this is just kind of the start of a lot of stuff that we have going on for this Black Widow movie. A lot of the events. The Black Widow event has been going on for a while. Let me just get your quick thoughts on that. We'll talk about some of the other events that's going on. What do you think of these milestones, the web of spies and everything that's going on in the game?
This event is dope. Like, it's so good, man. And people will like stop by stream and they're like, Tony, why aren't you doing it? I'm like, oh, I have money. I don't care for these pittance. But you guys, this event's great for you. Like, guys, I have money.
These measly things.
Oh, look at the 6 red star orb. Can't wait to pull hand century 6 red. Like, no, I'm fine. Thank you. If I need something, I'll buy it. But like this event, that's just me being lazy. That's all it is. This event is amazing, and like the amount of people who are like now just getting to the point when it's finished and everything, like they're finished up or they're getting close. The rewards, it's huge. This is by far the best version of this type of event, and a lot of that is because they've replaced stuff that used to matter with stuff that currently matters, as opposed to before where it was like, hey, you can get orange gear elite orbs, yay! And we're like, we don't want those. And they're like, but they're good. Like, no, they're not. Here they're like, here's Armory 14 and 15 orbs. Like, yeah, bring it. Hell yeah. You know, like, yeah.
We're still missing those 13 uniques, but yeah, it's cool. Let's talk about all this stuff that was in this event. We got these doubled catalysts,
so good,
raining gold, and let's talk about these milestones. My goodness, so much good stuff. And there was some weirdness going on in the beginning with this web of spies, but. There's so much good in this.
You finished all the milestones? Look at you fancy dude. Why don't you just spend money?
Oh, I'm a blitzer. I'm a blitzer, baby. I'm a blitzer, baby.
So the problem is half the stuff was from Blitz and half the stuff was from RTA, two game modes I literally do not play.
Yeah.
Like, so I got her costume and was like, off to play another game. Like, I did not want to do any of that stuff.
I wanted some of these red star fragments here. If you go down to this, you get like a fully crafted red star elite that you get from this event. If you do all those, that's you talk about 4 million for that for those power cores. This is like 8 million here. So
yeah, I got to 39. So I'm not like sleeping on it, but like I'm not rushing. If I miss something, oh my god. So well, the biggest thing was I already had a 5 red star red guardian from the previous event they did of this.
Oh,
so
did they have that in there?
There was another Red Guardian 5-star event from.
Oh man, I forgot about that one. All right, well, screw that. But other than repeating the 5-star character,
unless I pulled a 5-star Red Guardian, which is more disappointing somehow.
Oh, I pulled a 6. So I'm like, I wish it was another character. All right. Anyway, maybe I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, I like this, and I like the fact that unlike the Loki, they're giving a lot of extra bits so that people can get the Black Widow costume, which in my opinion looks a lot cooler than Loki because they're both spending a lot of time in stealth, but. She looks very, very cool.
Well, also the costume credits, right? Like they're releasing. You saw the Gamora costume, man. Yeah. I want to be able to get those, and I don't really want to give them money because I don't think any of the stuff's worth the money they think it is. But like, I want to be able to eventually get this. Gamora's not in there, but like like they have the separate outlooks and the colors. They did it for Cap and Gamora, and it's going to cost costume credits. So like, yeah, I want to be able to buy those, and I don't mind giving them cores for the costume credits occasionally. But like, come on, we get some extra.
Well, I was gonna talk about this. A little later, but since we're talking about costumes right now, we actually got a pretty cool costume in the game for one of the characters, but it's not coming this update. So if we go to Emma here, you go in, and she has I think this is a much better look than what she has currently in the game. And here, you guys could be the judge. You can let me know in the comments. You like this look or this look? Tony has a big thumbs down, but
you get Karen Frost the hell out of here, bro. No interest.
I think she looks better. I think her hair looks a lot better. But all right, so if you're with Tony, then I guess you don't care.
No, detail wise, they did a great job with the details in the costume. I don't want to take anything away.
You like the details?
Yeah, I just like a different kind of Emma.
All right, I like it better. And if you guys are like me and want this costume, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's coming this update because the costume for Emma wasn't mentioned in the release notes because it's not. You're not able to acquire this until a future release, and hopefully it's coming next release. Hopefully they don't keep us waiting too long like they do with some other characters. I mean, we still don't have that Cyclops. We still don't have that Cyclops costume in the game that was originally teased, right?
But the Daredevil.
The Daredevil is kind of in the game, sort of, right? He's sort of in the game. He's in the stuff, but there's no way to acquire it, or is it?
Oh yeah, no, not yet.
Okay, that's what I meant.
But that's what makes me more excited. There's going to be an event to get Shadowlands Daredevil, and I'm like, yeah, I love Daredevil.
I guess I know why we weren't skipping around, because I was going to talk about the extension of the not costumes. I was going to talk about more about the events that we got. We got an awesome Blitz going on right now with so many awesome pockets. Yelena Blitz, I'm very happy with this Blitz. And then we have the Sonic Residence Blitz for Rescue. Are you happy that we have a Rescue Blitz, or a Yelena Blitz going on right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything that saves me time from like that 21/45 shards I'm getting from this Blitz is gonna save me a lot of energy. So like, yeah, let's go. As you may not know, I pulled a 7 red star on her immediately, like the day she came out. and was like,
"Oh, me too.
You too?
Me too."
Yeah. I was like, that was the most
I'm sorry,
audible.
I want to offer you my condolences for pulling that 7 red star.
That hurt more than the $75 hand archer 6 red I pulled. Like that was the 7 red on Yoda, and it was on a regular orb too. So I have no reason to complain. It was basically a free 7 red star, and I was like, oh, it could have been a good character.
Well, she did get a rework. She's a little better than when she was originally released, but yeah, still not. She doesn't have that versatility that we're talking about earlier. But you know who does?
No.
Bishop. Bishop's pretty versatile. Bishop has a lot of versatility. You can use him in that's too small. You can use him in war. You can use him in raids. And real-time arena, he's pretty dominant, and he's a battle pass character. Now, curiously, this was data mined as soon as the update dropped, but was missing from the blog post. So, what are your thoughts on him being the battle pass character? Does this mean that he's going to the arena orb next?
Bishop. Just get your bishop.
What? Wait, I didn't understand what the heck that word was. What did you say?
I said, it's Bishop. Just go get Bishop. He's awesome.
Just get Bishop.
He's awesome. He's so good.
And where's he going though?
Where's he going?
Should people buy this? Mojo's Mayhem Strike?
I'm afraid he's going into premium orbs at this point. You know, like I don't.
Premium orbs, no,
dude, he's that good. He's the only character on the X-Men that's like completely well, obviously besides Jubilee, he's the only character on the Astonishing X-Men that you cannot replace. And if you ever don't believe that for a second, go use the Astonishing X-Men in Alpha Raids. Like you're like, yeah.
I do. I use Emma there. Is it
the same? Does it feel
not at all? But they can still win. But I gotta fully play that thing and be careful. It's not like with Bishop.
Yeah, because you don't have a nuke drop
done.
every.
Done. But yeah. So
I love
Bishop, get him. Spend as much money as you are willing to spend in this game on Bishop because he's a great character. He's not the most versatile character, but
he has one. He does one thing very well.
He does very well. He does very, very well. Exactly. All right, so we were talking about some changes that were discussed in the game that are here, and I do want to get your take on it because I didn't talk to you after this update dropped. So one of the big things in the update is, for me, I think this is the hugest change, and I talked about this with Philosopher last week. As soon as this update dropped, I took three characters up to ISO 8 level 5 immediately because that is how big this change was for me. How much did this affect you?
A lot.
Cool.
Like a lot. Like I'm not. I can't. So up to this point, I guess it's just comparative, right? Like every day I'd farm like 2 or 3 maybe ISOs for a character. And now when I'm like, I'm working on this,
the crystal, 2 or 3 crystals per day.
Yeah, 2 or 3 crystals.
Yeah, that's
now
ridiculous.
It's like,
that's ridiculous.
Now I'm like, I'm getting like 6 to 8
20 to 30 a day.
Well, of the one specific one.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm refreshing. I'm refreshing too, but yeah.
Oh, I'm not
20 to 30 with the refresh.
Still, like it's insane. The like night and day, like crazy night and day. So now it's like, oh, it's only gonna take me. The idea for me is like, how much time if I single target somebody, you know, like if I'm like this guy, how long is it gonna take for me to take him from no ISOs to 5 ISOs? Because that number has to be a non-ridiculous number. It can't be weeks, you know, like that's insane because now ISOs are a requirement. So 1 to 3 is like 2 days, maybe 3 days. 3 to 4 is like maybe another 3 days. And then 4 to 5 is maybe another 3 days. You know what I mean? So like if you break it down into thirds like that, more or less, like if you're target farming and you're using your energy on the thing that you need in the slot that you need, you're gonna get it quickly. Like maybe not a week, but like maybe a week and a half from 0 to there. And maybe you get a little bit lucky and it's a little bit faster. Maybe you pulled the orbs and you get some, you know, like it's so different, like night and day. I don't know if we're getting a lot more stuff right now than we will be in the future, and if it just feels better, that's something I'm trying to keep my eye on, because we're getting like ion orbs and like premium stuff and calendars and all this jazz. I don't know if this is artificially feels good, like an influx, like they keep using that word, like we don't know what it means, or if this is like a normal and we're actually going to be able to accrue a decent amount of ISOs.
I don't you remember we had that calendar right before this that ended, and it was an insane amount of ions. I think I had over 1 million ions as soon as this went live. So I was like, farm, and the ions weren't an issue. So maybe down the road the ions will become more of an issue. But yeah, right before this drop, I had so many ions, and the double drops. So this right here, the ions, the crystals increasing from 1 to 2 times. That should have half the time. Also, the getting to 20 instead of 10, that should have also half the time, assuming you're not doing refreshes and stuff. So this should have cut the time down by a quarter for how many times how long it takes for a character to get there. So effectively, that's what I think this did. And these ions should help as well, increasing the ions for this. But yeah, this is a very, very good update.
I don't give them
I'm very happy with this
a lot. So, you can clip this for posterity.
Oh my goodness, are we gonna get something cool happening here? This would be historic.
I think that the event that they did giving us stuff was meant to kind of backwards make up for what we weren't able to get through this.
Yeah.
And if that's what it was, if they designed the event, because I don't trust their ability to do math, but if that was designed to, hey, listen, we're going to give you what we assume like X months worth of progress would have been at this current rate, and like you should be okay, then they did a great job. I do feel like right now it's in a more stable place than it was, and I do feel like I've had the access, because I don't buy ISOs. I literally refuse to. They're not. You
don't spend cores to refresh it, or you just don't buy it straight up?
Either. Like,
okay.
There's nothing I need to do today that I can't, like, that tomorrow. Like, none of it. With like maybe the exceptions now that they're becoming more and more necessary for like Adam Warlock and stuff. Yeah. I was able to bring most of my roster to 3 ISOs. And since this change has taken over, I've been able to bring like 4 or 5 characters to ISO 5 with like, and I don't bring everybody up the second they can. I'm like, oh, I need these for the Doom raids, or I need this for the new Catalyst event.
Yeah.
So I think that this change, if this is what they intended, they succeeded. They've made up for the fact that this was probably their plan all along, and they didn't quite realize.
I don't think this was a plan all along. I think
like,
they had no plan. This is reaction
required was a plan.
Making them required.
And I think that what they've done over the last month and a half tips the scale to balance a little bit more. It doesn't feel good. It's not reparative. It's restorative. Like, I still feel mad. I'm still mad about
I don't know how they're going to get back the people that left the game because of this, though. I don't know how that's going to end. People left because of this. If they did this, and then they announced the ISO 8 requirements, I don't think this would have been as negatively received.
No, the order was wrong.
Not at all, because this is such a big positive change.
If you said we're going to change ISOs, or if you said we're going to make required ISOs, and you told us what we were going to do, or more importantly, if you did it before the requirement change, giving players an opportunity to kind of adapt.
That's logical. That's logical.
Then it would be fine. To me, that's the biggest disconnect that I think they have. I think that they do things because the clipboard tells them this will make them the most money. And then when people, and like Nick, like Cerebro, like you guys talk to them, they're like, yeah, but what about the money, please? Like they don't like we're not making a game, we're making a slot machine. What are you doing? And then when you finally get somebody who's like, no, this is stupid, we could fix this and make it easier, who gets through the point, we end up with something like this. And I think this is overall a very positive change. And I think it's going to be better now.
My only pushback is the timing of this, but everything else, awesome.
Please learn from this. Like, take this opportunity. If you're going to make a major change, please just tell us that you have plans to make a difference too. Like, don't just screw over people.
Cross our fingers. We can cross our fingers. They've made many mistakes. I don't know if they've learned from them because they are their harshest critics. So we
no, I'm their harshest critic. You can take that to the bank. No, that's me. I'm their harshest critic. They have nothing.
All right, Origin challenges. We also got these introduced. These also require ISO 8. These don't feel as bad as the Doom changes though, because this is technically new content, and this is content for something that we don't necessarily need. We don't need all of this gear, especially if you're someone that's finished Dark Dimension 4. You don't need all of this extra gear. So I think this is a nice bonus. But for some players, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more valuable than others. Is there any scenario that you would rank up a character to level 5 specifically for this, or just do it as soon as or whenever you got them? Whenever you got them ranked up, that's when you do this challenge.
I would rank the characters to ISO 4. That I would do, like,
because it's pretty easy, because it's pretty simple.
It's the trade-off is not nothing, and I can guarantee you I could think of 5 bio, 5 mystic.
So you're talking as far as for this event, you would bring him to ISO 4.
For these challenges, I wouldn't have a problem doing the second tier or the ISO 4 event, because I think that there's 5 of each of the classes that you would absolutely want to invest in. Plus, it correlates to your Doom raids, so it's, I mean, they made it correlate, so it's not actually value. Like, they forced it on us. But, like, you are able to, like, double dip. Like, you don't have to work, like, unlike Doom raid, or Doom campaign, or the Doom unlock. Let's go. Dark Dimension, that's the word. D's. Yeah. Dark Zone, whatever. Playing too many games.
Whatever.
Like, unlike Dark Zone, or Dark Dimension, or Dark whatever, like, you had to work on characters, and you could work on good, skill cosmic characters, or you could work on cheap cosmic characters, and then eventually,
or a combination of both.
Yeah, or some combination of run and pass. Like,
yeah.
That's kind of the same thing here. Like, here you're gonna need to work on 5 mutant characters to do the Doom raid. So, like, you don't have to work on. It's not a race. Just when you get your 5 mutant characters able to do Doom raid, you can also get these requirements. I think it's okay to get a character to 4. I still think it's okay to get characters to 3 ISO if they're newer or if you're using them. But I think 4 is a reasonable stop point, because it's like the halfway point in rewards. It's a nice little big boost at the beginning, and then it's like, 6 to 8 every time the event comes around. I think these events are great. Yes, I understand they don't have Gear 13 pieces in them. Yes, I understand all of that. And I still think that this is a decent event that they can work with in the future, because now it's in the game. And once something's in the game, theoretically, it could be changed to add, like red gear when that comes out. You know what I mean? Like, they could do more.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, and this is just kind of a double benefit for people that are into Doom raids. You're already building up these characters. I do like what you're saying about pushing a little harder if you're missing some characters at the level 4, getting up to the level 4, because that's not that expensive. That does give a health bonus, so that's not totally useless. And I'm assuming a lot of the characters that you're using, you already got. Most people that have been playing for a while have at level 3 already. That's way cheaper than even level 4. So level 3, you should get more with your characters. So most people should be able to run at least the first wave of this. I like that push for level 4. And then as you progress your characters to level 5, I think that's the way to approach it. Don't push for level 5, but when you get them there, then finish the challenge. You'll have to do it once. Once you start, you could just auto it after that. So I like these. It's free gear for people that are building this stuff. Anyway. Let's move on. Let's move on to some other things. We got a couple events coming up this week. We got Block Party for some T4s, and we got Boot Camp for the training mats. Is there any characters that you are really looking, that you've been saving up T4s, that you've been wanting that last T4, or are they pretty abundant for you? And is there any characters that you need some training mats for that you might be looking to take up after these events?
Dude, I haven't gotten under 1,000 T4s in like a year now. Like, I have. So
Block Party means nothing to you.
No, like, that's why. Like, I just don't T4 characters.
Because of Block Party, okay.
Like some people, listen, some people are completionists. They're like, every character has to have every T4 or else I don't experience the character's full value. I'm on the other side. I'm like, how cheap can I be and accomplish the same thing? Like, as far as I'm concerned, if I can, I used to have this conversation with a couple people. If I go into Dark Dimension and I beat it, right, without having a T4 in something, then I didn't need the T4. if that T4 like saved me an entire attempt or like then it's different. But like generally speaking, I use the characters for raids. I have an idea of a theory called foundational T4s. It's the tier 4s that a team or a character needs in order to do what they're supposed to do. And very few teams have more, and very few characters have more than one foundational T4. Like usually there's just one that makes them who they are and everything else just improves them. So I don't really, I do all the foundationals on every character, anything that I'm like, they need this. And then I move on to see like, what do they need? So like Gamora's 3 of 4 on the Infinity Watch and Adam Warlock is 1. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure he'd be stronger, but like I don't care because I'm currently top 50 in arena. So like, could I be 100? Maybe.
Yeah, it's good. But I guess it's real good for anybody that doesn't have all those T4s.
Yeah, this event's great.
Newer mid-game players. Awesome stuff. Hope you guys have a great character that you have in mind for that T4. Training mats. Is this a bottleneck for you at all anymore? This was a huge bottleneck for me, but I think around the time of this event, I've been hoarding some training orbs. So I don't know if gold or training mats is a bottleneck for me personally. I know it is still for a lot of players though. So what are your experiences as far as your training mats situation?
For the first time ever, I ran out of all but green training mats. It's like maybe a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "What? How?" So ever since
this is perfect timing for you.
Yeah, maybe it's because I've decided to take a lot more of my roster up over the last couple of weeks. Like I'm like, I'm just gonna bring up my current goal is to bring up garbage. So like my entire roster is gonna be gear tier 12 in the next couple of weeks.
You might have the strongest Ravager Stitcher out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
So like I only have 36 characters that are in gear tier 12 right now. So I have the rest of my roster is all, but that's just what I'm doing because I'm bored, I'm having fun. And purple gear is a little bit easier to come by when you've been playing as long as we have. So like with the training materials, I started noticing when I'm like, let's bring this guy to 6. Like when I started bringing like utter garbage to 65, I was like, oh no. No.
Well, I mean,
there's a
at
cost.
the end of the day, it's all about resource management, right? So you're not supposed to bring up your entire roster. You're supposed to bring up the valuable characters, unless you're in a place like that and you're just having fun. So let me know how your guys' training mat situation is. How this is going to help you with that. Is there any other thoughts on this training mat situation?
No.
Or your personal.
I think this did a good enough job of putting them in, but without like a player needs to understand that like you can't have everything, and the players who do have everything have spent stupid amounts of money. So don't have everything, have what you want. If you like a character, even if they're not great, like feel free to work on them. You understand that it's a game and you're supposed to have fun. And if you want to be optimizing, like work on Bishop. You know, like back to Bishop.
Agreed.
So just
now one of the big sorry.
No, that's it.
Okay. One of the big things with this boot camp, when they announced it, they didn't say how long it would be between each iteration. And it looks like it's going to be happening every time Block Party comes around. So we'll get some training mats, we'll get some T4s. I think this is second. I'm not sure if this is a third, but I know this is a second that has been paired with Block Party. So maybe every time Block Party comes around. And any thoughts on the timing of this? Because I don't think they officially announced the cadence for Block Party.
No, we had it. This is the third run.
This is the third run that it's been associated with Block Party, but I don't think they had ever went out and flat said it's going to be coming with Block Party every month. They just said there's a training mat event.
No, it's not coming with Block Party. It's the 4th week of the month, so it's wherever Block Party. So it will always come with Block Party, but on months where Block Party doesn't come, it's just the 4th thing.
No, Block Party is every month now. Block Party is every month.
When did that happen?
A few months ago, I think earlier this year.
What?
But my point is, I think it's been associated with Black Party
so
at
many
least
T4s.
for the past 2 iterations. It's every month, Tony. It's been playing too much Future Rev, I think. Following that game too hard. But yeah, so my point was, I don't think they announced how often this would be occurring, but I know this is at least the second time it's been occurring with Block Party. I'm just wondering if this is unofficially when it's going to occur every single month, but I think so. Well, I guess we'll get the definitive answer next month.
Yeah, but we're drawing data points. Like, yes, excellent. Wait a minute. It's that meme.
Well,
with
the
of,
third, I think this is second. So the third will tell us if this is definitely going to be associated with Block Party. Let me ask you about this though. Let me move this up because my camera's covering it. In the Block Party, and this was from 7/9 earlier this week, or later, early last week. Late last week.
Mid next
Maria
month.
Hill. All right, this happened on 7/9, whenever that was.
Sure.
This about the blog. Maria Hill abilities, we got that. Weekly events, we got that. Blitz Store update. This was data mined. What is happening with this? When are we going to find out about these Blitz Store changes? This is a very late blog post. What do you think was going to happen with the Blitz Store? What do you think the intent was with this?
Uh-huh.
So let me
every time I look at the Blitz Store, I'm like, why are all these red dots with 3-digit numbers here? I don't like. What is? Why do I have hundreds of these things?
Let's start with that. I was opening some Blitz orbs yesterday for the gear. Why is it one at a time? Why can't we open those like 20 or 30 or 100 at a time? That is so crazy.
That's probably
one at a time is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. It takes so long.
You know what I mean? That's a catch.
It's like, so you gotta stay in game just opening orb.
Well, that's also like I don't want
1,000 times.
I don't want to open 10 of them. I want to open until I get the amount of things I need. So like I actually kind of appreciate that, but also let me control that.
You can set that in your advanced options.
Control that.
You could change that in your advanced options.
It's also the same thing with red stars. Like honestly, at this point, I'm like just open 10. Like just I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, change that scope. Like,
I think that's a
in other games, you could open all your orbs. You could open it one click of a button instead of click. So that's my biggest change with the Blitz Store right now. But what other changes would you like to see come to the Blitz Store? If because they're talking about these Blitz Store updates. What do you think needs to be updated in the Blitz Store other than the characters and the orb and all that stuff?
So actually, I think the Blitz Store is the perfect store in the game, and I wish that more of the other stores emulated it. Because I think that
what do you like about it?
I like the fact that the orb costs less because it's random, not more.
So it makes sense.
I don't have a problem with the cost of anything in the Blitz Store, anything. So I think that the 350 orb plus the 500 or 400, whatever for the other characters. So I think the Blitz Store economy is actually really good. Here's the problem, because they're saying Blitz updates. They've already ruined the arena store by like just destroying how the economy of that store works.
Yes.
And to be fair, the war store economy has long been unhealthy, so we just accept the unhealthy economy of that war store.
But they said they're taking minions. They said they're taking minions out of the orb.
When is that happening?
They said it.
Soon.
Yeah,
right around the time Emma becomes farmable. No,
oh my goodness.
The problem is I don't see when they're changing stores, it very rarely is for the better. Like it generally speaking takes something incredibly painful and makes it slightly less painful. Like dulls the pain. It doesn't improve it like they do with Raid Store all the time and everything. It's never like, oh, this is great. So my fear is that their Blitz Store updates is actually like, so we're gonna add new characters to the store and they're gonna be 1,000 credits and you could spend 1,000 credits on these and now we have the new Blitz Orb and it's 780 points and you can draw 9 of a character shard that you want, and here's where all of like, I feel like they're just gonna ruin the economy of the Blitz Store because I don't know about you, but I have an infinite amount of Blitz credits right now, nigh 50 to 100,000. I don't know how many because after it reached 40,000, I was like, I could buy anything anytime I want, and it stopped paying attention. And I don't war anymore. I do like 1 or 2 attacks, so like I'm only like my war credit income is like. Like I don't have to buy it every store refresh all the time always, which honestly that's the best way to play this game. If you're not spending Blitz credits on war purchases, you've won, man. You're already ahead of the curve.
I guess the conclusion is join a casual alliance. You're hearing it from myself, you're hearing it from Tony. That is the way to have fun in Marvel Strike Force. Be casual with it.
But like we have to talk about this still and we'll save it, but like
hold on.
I just want to say,
let's talk about this next. Let's go to this next topic really quick.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the. I know you wanted to talk about this. Let's just talk about this together. API was teased in the late or the early 2021 blog post. So was the tabs for save squads. Obviously, we still don't have the tabs for save squads. And API is being used on MSF.gg for a lot of the character data, the map data, but not the player data, which is what a lot of players wanted. When do you think we're going to get player data with the API? And when do you think the save squad tabs are going to be here? Both of these were teased earlier this year.
So I did a state of the game address for mid-year.
Yes.
About a week and a half ago, and I went over this. So check it out, guys. You can click on that link whenever it shows up somewhere. But the issue I have, and what I brought up then, was they talked about this. They mentioned it. They said this is important to them. And they
never mentioned a date, though. So I mean,
no, they did. They mentioned
a
date.
date.
They mentioned first half of the year.
Was it removed?
No, that's the point. This is the first half of the year.
Just overall blog. Okay.
Yeah, this is a blog that's that's Roadmap 1. So the date is before Roadmap 2. Or if there's going to be
which we technically don't have yet. So I guess
they still have weeks. If days even.
Days maybe, right?
Yeah, like to get it out. So like again, just updates every now and then. Like your blog post, we talked, you and I offline, we talked earlier. Present, past, future. Every blog post should be present, past, future. Every single one. This is the simplest solution, guys. I'm saving you some time. Whoever's writing it, probably Nick. Sorry, Nick. I know you're doing extra work now. Present, past, future.
He's doing his job. He's doing Zeke's job. He's got to
talk about.
That's why I think that blog post has been light, and I think it's going to be light for a little while.
What's currently happening, right?
Yes.
What the previous things that have happened have like resulted. So like for example, for this week, it'll be like so the this current week, you know, Sharon Carter's event is started, and we're doing this, and we're gonna do blah blah blah, and this is what's going on, and then we go back in time. We go, and if you missed out on, you know, the Cap Sam offer, you know, he's going to be available in the past when it comes out, but also like getting ready the other stuff that we talked about last week or last month, whatever the last thing was. And then you talk about the future. Then you go, and now keep your eyes ahead for this thing. And that tiny little part of the future, it's not just hype. That's responsibility. You have to say like, hey, and now we actually have something to say about Swave squads. Or if a month passes, if like 4 blog posts pass and you have nothing to say, you say at this time we really Save squads, just to let you guys know we really don't have anything to tell you now, but just to keep you sure we are working on it, we haven't forgotten. You know, that one line, you can actually copy paste that line. This is business. Like, I'm sorry, I'm giving everyone a business lesson now. Like, this is just how you keep constituents interested in what you're doing. So like this is how news is related to people in a way that's understandable. And when you have constituents, we have people you have to keep informed of stuff. You don't have to have information. You have to have notes, and no news is good news is the absolute worst way to make people respect your opinions or respect your news as a credible source. So you have to give them something.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be everything. It doesn't have to have specific dates or times, but it has to be, hey, we understand this is happening. That's fine. Or else people start losing trust in you. And right now you could use a little bit extra goodwill.
All right, so no predictions as far as date, but definitely need a better blog post writing from Cerebral is kind of what I'm getting from you. But let's move on to what I guess the main topic that you want to discuss. Dark Dimension 5, when is it? And why is it necessary right now in Marvel's Strike Force? We were talking about this pretty extensively before we started recording, but what are your thoughts on this? Why do we need Dark Dimension 5 right now? Or at least an announcement of Dark Dimension 5 right now?
These games are the chase. Anybody who's playing it right now knows. When you're leveling, you're looking to get specific shards, or you're looking to get specific gear pieces, but it's always the chase. There's always something that you could be doing better. Right now, there is nothing that I can be doing better. You know what I mean? Like, I could be better at war.
Maybe better raids, better wars, but
technically
actual content
could be better at war. My alliance no, but I could be better at war. You know, like I can't control 23 other people. That's the point. Like, I can't make other people better. I could be better at raids, but no, I really can. I beat all my nodes right now. You know, like, I can be better, but there's got to be the brass ring. There has to be something to work towards, because we've done this many times, you and I, Valley. We've sat on this corner we're sitting at the end game waiting for the goalpost to move, so I have something to work towards. We do it. Yeah. We did it for Dark Dimension 2. Between Dark Dimension 2 and Dark Dimension 3, I'm just going to say I think it was like 40 years, 50 years. I don't know how long it was, but it felt like forever because it was so long where it was just like we were complaining there's no content. Then they gave us DD3 and we're like, all right, this is bad content. If the option is no content,
bad content, at least something you could chase for, and there's a reward.
At least
even
we
if the
could
content
be
itself
angry
is
while
not
we did
great.
it. Like, shucks, Auto. But
it's a goal. It's a goal. I totally agree with you. I need that goal,
and it's not going to be war.
That's why when I'm training, like for jiu-jitsu, I need that goal of a tournament. I need that. I need a goal in this game. I don't have one right now. The raids, we're in Doom.
Yeah,
we could up the next Doom level, but and then what? We were doing war, and that's more against opponents. But content-wise,
you want to win more wars, drop down to a lower alliance and fight people who are weaker than you. You'll win all the wars. Great.
Go to a casual alliance and you'll have a lot more fun.
Sorry, what's up? 4 million TCP? Dead.
Ooh. But yeah, I definitely agree. We need something to chase for. How long have you been out of Dark Dimension 4? Months? 2 months? 3 months? 4 months?
No idea.
How long has Doom been on your roster?
I have no idea. I don't know.
It's for me, it seems like about 3 months or so, but I don't know either.
Once I beat DD4 the second time, I was like, what do I do?
I waited one more time because I wanted that shiny border, but yeah, that honestly. That was around the time that the game wasn't as fun because there was nothing to chase. Yeah, we need to chase, Scopely. I want to chase something. What is the content you're adding? Give us the late 2021 blog post so I can see what is the content I'm chasing, whether it be Dark Dimension 5 or something else. I want to build up my characters for the chase. I 100% agree with you, Tony.
I remember this. I was the 9,000th person, 9,000 some number, 9,030, I don't know, weird. Person to finish Dark Dimension 4. So it wasn't like it wasn't like I was like, look at me go, look at me. I wasn't top 100, I wasn't top 5. It was the 9,000th person. And then I feel like there's like 40,000 Dooms now. I feel like everybody finally beat it. So I know they probably have a plan. They're like, okay, we'll do it until there's this many people.
Tony, come on, this is Scopely we're talking about.
I said probably.
Okay.
I know they probably have some idea. To me, Dark Dimension should just be twice a year. That's it. It's just hey, this is Dark Dimension that does the gear stuffs, and this is the Dark Dimension that does the character stuff. And just that's it. Every 6 months, you have 6 months. That becomes the race in and of itself.
So that's so hold on. Every time we've gotten a dark dimension, it's come with a level cap increase that's come before it.
Yeah.
And then a gear increase. Yeah. So you're wanting a level cap increase 2 times a year.
Yeah. Every time. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. Just wanted to make sure it's clear what you want. Okay.
Yeah.
And what else? What else would help with that?
So I want to know that okay, Dark Dimension 5 comes out. Let's say it comes out now. I want to know that 6 months from now, Dark Dimension 6 is going to come out. And that's my window. I have at least 6 months to complete Dark Dimension 5 before I have to worry about Dark Dimension 6.
So what I'm hearing from you want predictability is kind of what I'm getting from you. You want predictability with Dark Dimensions, so you know when it's happening, know the level caps. And I think that's a good thing, because if we look at what happened last year, especially with the legendaries, the legendary rotation was pretty spot on. It was pretty like clockwork up until December when it got kind of weird with that Ebony Maw thing. But remember, people were having fun planning for these legendaries, getting them out. The predictability, I think it may not be good for that panic buying for Scopely, but I think it is good for the health of the game, for the player base, for the enjoyment, and the long-term health of this game. So I fully agree with this. Let me ask you one last quick question before we move into some Loki episode 5 talk. And episode 5, I know episode 6 came out today, but we are discussing episode 5 in just a little bit. So that is your preemptive spoiler warning. But would you rather have Dark Dimension 5 or some other content added to the game?
Oh, I don't trust them to make other content.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about Loki. Season 1, episode 5. Now, we're going to discuss everything up into episode 5. So if you haven't watched that, this is your second spoiler warning for that. Episode 6 did come out today. I have not seen it. I don't know if you saw it. And if you did, do not say anything about it. I guess I can't ask you for predictions then, because I did want to talk about
I can't talk about episode 5 because I previously talked about episode 5 and how I think the show was going to end, and it was less of a prediction and it ended up being a spoiler. So I can't really talk. I could tell you about. We can talk about what happened in episode 5.
Okay, let's not predict. Let's talk about some things that happened. And what are your thoughts on Loki's and the short appearance by President Loki? Do you think that Loki would have a larger the President Loki version would have a larger appearance in that show?
Yeah, kind of. Like I felt like the trailer hyped up some things. Trailers are weird, man. Like
I thought that would be the real Loki, like the not a variant, but the real that we know.
I guess that was just, I don't know. It was just super weird to see all the Lokis like that were in the end of time, because like Lokis just suck all the time. Like, it's just funny to me that
they try not to suck. They have this superior complex, and they end up
from
sucking.
the perspective of the storyline of the TVA and the person or people behind the TVA, like Loki is just the only one who is consistently screwing with the plans. Like, sometimes it's a random thing, but it's always a Loki. And then there's Alligator Loki, who's the best Loki.
It's off hands. All right, so that, I guess that was my next question. What is your favorite version? Is it Alligator Loki or is it some other Loki?
Well, Alligator Loki is such a meme. You know, like it's such a meme, man, that like you can't ignore it. They'd be like, if there was Bunny Loki, we'd be like, what? Bunny Loki? I'm in. Let's go. Trickster Bunny. It's the bunny from what's that? Monty Python.
I didn't see all the Monty Pythons. But you know, did you know that there was a frog Thor in the movie, and Chris Hemsworth came back just to do the grunts for that frog Thor? Were you aware
that
of
was
that?
him? I didn't know he did Throg's grunts.
He did his grunts. That was Chris Hemsworth doing the grunts.
No.
All right. Final question. I guess we're not. There's not so much to talk about without predictions.
No, but we can talk. You can talk about predictions.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite Loki? What was your favorite version of the Loki? I did ask you that, and we made a joke about Alligator Loki. But what was your favorite Loki?
Richard E. Grant, the actor who played classic Loki or like Loki. OG costume Loki. He did such a good job. That episode was just him carrying it. Like, and there's nothing to take away from the other actors and actresses in that show. They're doing great. But like Richard E. Grant just took a role that I remember from comic books and like cartoon shows, like Spider-Man TAS. Like he took that garbage Loki and then made him like, oh wow, awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes. But if you want to do predictions, there are some very reasonable things you can talk about, and I will just say, no matter what happens,
I'll give you my predictions.
I will Johnny Carson you. I will be like, that is correct, sir. Like I will be like, that is great.
I'll give you my predictions as far as the bad guy, because I've been saying this on stream many times. All right, the main bad guy, I think a lot of the people are suspecting is Kang, and I think that is the big. I'm not trying to not look at your face. I don't want to even be told by what your eyes are doing. All right, so I think Kang is the bad guy. I think that is the most likely scenario. I think the less likely scenario, but also very don't even shake your head. I saw you doing that. I tried to block all this. All right, less likely scenario, but also very plausible. Loki is another variant is the main bad guy, and my third choice is the judge lady, Ravana or whatever her name is. So those are my three predictions. Don't tell me if they're correct or not until after I see it. Well, I guess I'll know after I see it.
No, there's a lot.
That is it.
There's a lot to it. I would generally speaking, the only argument I would ever make, because it's an argument I made in the past, so it doesn't matter whether it matters or not. But like, some of the characters have very obvious like arcs, and there's a lot of things it could be. I like the idea of it being is there, but the most common that is the most common three predictions people have. And then like
I think they seem the most likely. That's why. It's not like I'm going out on a ledge or giving a hot take here. It's just,
no. I think they're very likely. I think
they're very likely.
I think there's some less likely predictions that are also totally reasonable, and it's like No, again, I'm just talking about predictions that have happened in the past.
Okay.
Like the predictions I've heard about, and that's from other things. It's like Miss Minutes is actually behind it all, is one I've heard. I've heard that.
I heard that one early on, but not so much recently.
Someone thought it was Doom, and I was like, I would have been so mad. I was like, I'm still thinking about it right now.
So by you saying that, I know it's not Doom now because you said you would have been mad. So that's
but that has nothing to do with anything. It was never going to be Doom.
Let's just stop. I don't want to hear too much more because I know you already saw it. We could continue this conversation if you didn't see the 6th episode.
Or maybe it was, and I'm fucking with you. You have no idea.
Let's just stop. Any other thoughts on Marvel Strike Force? Or maybe what this series could mean for the game? I don't know if you could do that without revealing anything from the final episode. Any final thoughts on whatever?
Yes, it does have potential to impact Marvel Strike Force.
Sweet. All right. Anything that you want to promote? Anything that you have coming up that you want to discuss before we wrap it up?
No.
All right. Well, make sure you check him out on YouTube. Make sure you check him out on Twitch. And do you have a second channel for Future Rev, or are you doing it all on one channel right now?
No, my main channel is now Marvel game content. So I'll go and play Marvel Avengers and be miserable for you guys if you want.
Oh, sweet.
Well, Black Panther's coming out.
You can play some Puzzle Quest, brother.
I can't. Well, Puzzle Quest is actually super fun. You take that back.
Different kind of game.
You take that back. That game's fun. No. Like a Marvel Avengers, dude. The 36 people that still play that game are like super adamant about how good it is. You could tell because it's always the same 36 responses on Twitter whenever they're like, "Hey, look, it's a picture," and we're like, "Cool." Like,
all right. Well, links will be down below to his new branded Marvel overall channel, and links to Twitch and anything else you send me, OnlyFans, Patreon, all that stuff. Whatever you send me is going to be down in the links below. So click on some of that stuff.
I made my own one.
The TonyFans?
TonyFans, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if you send me that link, it would be down below. You click on it, check him out on other platforms. He's all over the place, guys. Tony Scungili, it has been a pleasure. I will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast and whatever platform you're listening. Give us an awesome review. Subscribe on YouTube. And he's going. Tony is ready to go. Give me that Hulk fist bump, brother. I will see you later. Have a great rest of your day. ValleyFlyin and Tony Scungili out. That was almost an hour and a half.
That's a good podcast, man. Dude, the podcasts are doing well. Like the long forms are doing real well.
Yeah.
Like I think
there's not a